All right, Komplete 14 finally announced. I just found out about it this morning and wanted to make a really quick video for you to talk a little bit about the different versions, get you excited about it. I'm going to be making lots of videos on the software in Komplete 14 and the different versions of it over the next little while, including some of the new products that I either haven't seen yet or don't have yet, or are now included in Komplete and are things that I haven't made videos on. So I'm very excited about it. I really do feel like this package of software with some of the new additions and with new companies that have become part of the parent company that owns Native Instruments, I feel like there's so much stuff in here now that makes this package of software probably the most exciting package of software in the world right now, maybe. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think. And of course, I am a huge fan of Native Instruments products. I've been buying them my whole life. Well, not really, but ever since the very first products came out ages ago. And then, of course, I became something of an ambassador for them. I don't get paid to make the videos, but I do get affiliate links. And speaking of which, I'll have an affiliate link for Komplete. So if you want to help me out, all you got to do is click on that little link in the description and then go over to the website. And when you do buy something, if you do upgrade to it, I will get a kickback. But there's so much new stuff in here that I've been creating videos for over the last 2 years. And this is where it all comes to a head, because it's like, a lot of you see the expansions videos that I make and you go, yeah, that's kind of cool. It's just a couple more patches or loops or whatever. But when it becomes part of Komplete, it really makes a lot of sense for some people to jump on board at that point. And what I'll also do is compare a little bit to the old version, Komplete 13, and what it cost when it came out, as well as what it comes with. So you can see if it really is as lofty and wonderful an update or an upgrade as they're saying it is. Okay, so Komplete 14. Let's see what we've got. We've got 4 different products. And whereas the old one was called Komplete 13 Select, new one's Komplete 14 Select, now they've called the second version Komplete 14 because it was a little confusing before with just Komplete 13. Like, well, which one is it? So the word standard has been added. Ultimate is the same. And then for Ultimate Collector's Edition, now they've removed Ultimate and they're just calling it Komplete 14 Collector's Edition. And again, I think that's really smart because that distinguishes very well between Ultimate and the Collector's Edition. And just to give you a sort of preliminary comparison to how things stacked up to the old one, now with Komplete 14 Select, you've got 19 versus 16 instruments and effects with 13. With 14 Standard, you've got 87 instead of 68 in Komplete 13. 140 instruments and effects instead of 118, and then 148 instead of 122. Number of expansions, this is a big one. We had 73 in Komplete 13. Now we've got 103 in the Collector's Edition. So a significant amount. So we're talking 25% more expansions. And so if that's your thing, you're going to really like it. Komplete 14 Ultimate has almost twice as many expansions as Komplete 13 Ultimate did. So 62 in Komplete 14 Ultimate. And there were 39 expansions in Komplete 13 Ultimate. And then Komplete 14 Standard, 39. And then in Komplete 13, there's 24. So here we can also see the pricing differences. I've got Canadian websites, so the pricing is going to be totally wrong. But if you look at the American Komplete 14 versus Komplete 13, you can see it's $199, same price. $5.99 for Standard, same price, $11.99 for Ultimate, and now they've jacked up the price by $200 for the Collector's Edition. So the Collector's Edition is for a very specific person, somebody who really loves expansions. There's so many expansions in there, and you got to love those and got to know that you're going to work with them. And then there's a few other things that set it apart. So we'll have a look at some of those today, but I'll also do a much more detailed video in the future where we really break down those differences, show you some examples of it. So let's go back to the main page for a second now and check out what else is new in here. Kontakt 7. This to me is probably one of the most exciting things for me because Kontakt and its small size, even on my ridiculously large TV, which I've got a video on in the description. So if you're wondering about it, everybody always asks me about that. It's just TV. I hate even how small stuff is on this huge TV. So having Kontakt as a scalable, high DPI experience, I'm assuming it's scalable. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see how that turns out. But high DPI just means we're going to have a really nice big version of Kontakt. We've got new ways to browse instruments and an overhauled factory library. Now this one to me, I think is going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. So I'm excited to show you guys Kontakt 7 when I get it. And I will be sure to really focus on the factory library, because the truth is, when you're getting a library of any sort, it's really those meat and potatoes patches that everybody needs. So if you're somebody starting out and Kontakt 7 has, you know, the basses, the pianos, the wind instruments, orchestral instruments, not even just orchestral instruments, but instruments like the accordion and mallet instruments and stuff like that that were in the older version of Kontakt, meant that you could do any genre of music, any style of music. I do tons of composition for film, and I would often need an accordion or maybe some kind of glockenspiel or a celesta or something like that. And having all of those instruments in Kontakt is so important, and they haven't been updated in a really long time. So we'll see how the new version of Kontakt is, how the new upgraded factory library is. I'm quite excited about that. Okay, Ozone 10 standard. Here's another one that is just super exciting, is that we've got mastering software built into Komplete. Definitely dig into this one in the future. Plugin Alliance tools, another suite of plugins that I am just so excited to check into. Comes with it. We're going to check out all those in future videos. These instruments they've got here: choir, lores, piano colors, ashlight, action strings 2, sequus. I've got videos on these bottom 3 ones right here. Very expressive instruments, and just great to have those as part of Komplete. And then we've got a bunch of guitars that are added. I think I've got videos on all 3 of these. So Electric Mint, Pick Nylon, and the Prime Bass one. So I'll put links to those in the description. Great new sampled guitars with patterns, so pattern-based instruments. Got a bunch of Play Series instruments that are going to be new. We'll have a look at which ones are included. I've done videos on almost all of these ones that have come out over the last 2 years. We've got Playbox, which is another one I've got a video on, and that one is kind of, to me, one of the most refreshing new instruments, and is really bizarre. I have to be honest, I've played with it, made the video, and then I haven't had time to play with it since. So I'm excited to play with it again and kind of work it into a video. But you're going to get some unique sounds. It's not like you go to Playbox because you have some exact idea of a sound in your head. You go to it to get inspired by the sounds. So a very cool one. And then there's 30 new expansions, up to 30 expansions, I guess. Also very exciting. I love the expansions, and I've got videos on tons of those. So a little bit more between the different bundles. This is my Canadian version, so don't be concerned by the scary prices. We can see that with the standard version, we're starting to get some of the Brainworks plugins and synthesizers. Whenever you see BX, that's Brainworks. Some new stuff that's being included. All of this stuff was in the old versions, Monarch, etc. Playbox we see starts at the standard version, which is great. I love seeing that. And their Razor, for some reason, still only included once you get up to the ultimate level. That one's got a vocoder, which is pretty cool. It's like one of the only vocoders. The rest of this stuff is old and was included in the old versions. Play Series instruments. Here we go. These are some of the new ones. 40's very own drums and keys. I've got a video on those ones. You can check that out in the description. Butch Vig drums also comes to the top 3 versions of Komplete. I've got a video on that one. Really recommend watching that one if you just want some rock drums. Really great sounds. I had a lot of fun with that one. Deft Lines also included Empire Breaks. That one's like really new. Both of these are actually pretty new, so I've got videos for both of those. Also great additions. Glaze, also one I've got a video on, great one. Ignition Keys just came out, and I've got a video on. It's probably my most recent video. Go check out the Ignition Keys one. It's got some just fantastic sounds. Stacks comes with all 4 versions. That's kind of fun. Got a video on that one as well. So tons of videos on these Play Series instruments. I'll just put a link to the playlist of those so that you can get to any of those videos that I've got on those ones. The only one that's new in acoustic pianos, as far as I know, is Piano Colors, which I haven't done a video on. I've got to do a video on that one, especially because it's got some really beautiful patches. So I will probably be doing a video where I'm exploring the things I haven't done a video on. That's probably makes the most sense. Next, we've got some other stuff that we've got from the old ones, drums and percussion, also old stuff. Electric bass, we've got the new Prime Bass, which starts at the Komplete standard version. A few new electric and acoustic guitars in the newer in Komplete 14, and then the rest of the stuff looks pretty similar until we get into things like Ashlight is new. Lores is only in the collector's edition. Sequus coming in the last 2 versions. But the only new thing in classical instruments is the choir, the Omnia. The choir looks pretty cool. It's got a way of entering syllables and getting a choir to sing words. So I'll be sure to show that kind of stuff off in the future as well. Ozone 10 standard starts at Komplete 14 standard. So not the lowest version of Komplete, but everybody else gets these mastering effects. Then we've got a few new effects being added to the Ultimate and Collector's Edition with these Brainworks plugins. And then also some creative effects that they're adding into those ones. And then the last thing, of course, the hugest part for some people will be the expansions. And there are so many new expansions being added in here. Hey, Crate Cuts is in there. Finally, that's great. So Crate Cuts comes in the Collector's Edition. That's one of my favorites, but definitely not the only reason to upgrade to that version. But there is a whole bunch of new, we're seeing things in here like Satin Looks, Soul Magic, Young Phantom, Freeform, which just came out. I've got a video on that one. Really fun jazz one, only in the Collector's Edition. Motherboard. That one comes in all the versions. That's kind of cool. So there you go, just a ridiculous amount of stuff in the new version. And I think a lot of people are going to be justifiably excited for this. A lot of people have been waiting some longer than 2 years to upgrade to Komplete 14. And I really don't think they're disappointing with the amount of stuff that they've got worked into there. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think about it, if it's good enough, if you like what's in there, what you're most excited about. And also the fact that there's no subscription thing that was just dropped. And I think a lot of people were nervous about that. So I'm really happy to see that this is just continuing on the sales path and not forcing us into some kind of subscription and still making that subscription available. But in my opinion, I'd always rather go with just buying something and owning it. And I think a lot of you feel that way too. Anyways, that's my 2 bits on this exciting new version of Komplete. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button and the bell, and we'll see you in the next video.